Okay, it's time to bring in the Laffer curve and create a growthier America. Real simple. Here's my great friend and mentor, Art Laffer, former Reagan economic advisor, Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, co-author of Taxes Have Consequences. Arthur, you know, we're looking at the Congressional Budget Office publishes their report, blah, blah, blah. And you look at the thing, and it's the same old stuff. 1.5% growth, more or less, for as far as the eye can see. And I think it's scandalous. The economics profession should be ashamed of itself. And we have to double the growth rate or even better than that. And that's my appeal to you. And that's where Republicans and conservatives need to go. We should not be satisfied with 1.5% economic growth.
I totally agree with you. And you're right. It should be fairly easy to do. I mean, a low rate, broad-based, flat tax. Spending restraint, Larry. This administration has not shown any spending restraint whatsoever. And if you'll remember, government spending is taxation. That's what is true. And then you look at what Trump was trying to do with health care. I mean, medical price transparency, medical quality transparency. We're wasting something like 8 or 9% of GDP on inefficiencies in the healthcare industry, and it's costing us life expectancy as well. You can go into a lot of other areas as well, Larry, that we can improve this system enormously. But it will come by not doing something. It will come by undoing something, lowering tax rates, cutting back spending, reducing regulations, not more regulations, more spending, more taxes, just the reverse. And we've got to bring that national debt down. You can do that by a tax amnesty program, by selling off government assets. There are all sorts of ways of accomplishing this that we could do to make this country grow a lot faster. And I believe, Larry, just based on your last segment, I mean, Trump was ready to do all of these things in his second term. And I think it would have been a phenomenal 4 years instead of what we have with Biden.
You know, you look at these numbers, these CBO numbers, again, coming back to that. Spending is still, I mean, even after the emergency stuff comes off, okay, fine.
I know.
But the next 10 years, you're running 24% or so of GDP, which is way higher than the 50-year average. I think the 50-year average, Arthur, is something like 20% or 20.5% of GDP. That's a huge difference. So, to your point, Republicans, conservatives, maybe they'll be joined by moderate Democrats, you've got to trim federal spending. You've just got to do it because you're saying that's part of the tax burden also.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to trim federal spending, and you just take a magnifying glass and a sharp pencil. And I was the first chief economist at the OMB. You were a little bit later on as the chief economist at the OMB. And you can go through those budgets. You can bring those things down quite dramatically. I mean, in Social Security, one of the things that Reagan did was what he did was he extended the age of retirement. Not right away, didn't cut people off Social Security. He did it there. People live a lot longer now. They're older. I mean, I'm 82, Larry. I'm still fully employed. I don't need Social Security. What we need to do is find those big programs to make them phased out over long periods of time so they do no damage to the population stack, just the reverse. What they will do is great spurring of economic growth. I mean, unemployment benefits, all the food stamps, all of those things disappear or go way, way down when you have the economic growth and prosperity. That's what we really need to do. And we can do it quite easily once you get a president who wants to take control. Reagan did it. Trump did it in his first term. And if it hadn't been for the pandemic, we would be in the midst of one of the greatest long-run prosperities, I think, ever in history.
I mean, just think about it. If the difference between 1.5% growth over 10, 20 years or more and 3.5% growth. We grew at 3.5%, Art, for 50 years after World War II. The difference in resources, in opportunities, in jobs, in living standards, in wealth creation that allows people to take risks, right, and invent new technologies so that the carbon footprint, for example, gets lighter and lighter. All of those things could be done if we have I'm just calling them growthier policies. We should make another run at lower marginal tax rates and broadening the base, should we not? Including the capital gains tax, including the corporate tax.
And, you know, and it worked with Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown was a Democrat who proposed 2 flat rate taxes, one on business net sales and one on personal unadjusted gross income at 13% each. No other federal tax. He got rid of them all. including tariffs. He got rid of the excise taxes, Medicare, Medicaid, income taxes, corporate taxes. Those two, that would be a simplification from a Democrat. He went from 8th in the race in 1992 in the Democratic primary to 2nd in the race, and he would have beaten Clinton had he not made a faux pas just before the New York and California primaries. These are things the populace wants. And, you know, compound interest is amazing. If you get 3.5% growth, you double the economy in 20 years. If you get 1% growth, it doubles in 72 years. That's a huge difference. What prosperity for America it could be. I mean, it's the dream come true.
All right. Art Laffer, we'll leave it there. Thank you. Much more to be visited on this whole subject.